Prepare the way of the Lord. Every valley be raised up, every mountain will be made low, and the rough ways will be made plain. Isaiah's words became literally true for Manji, who did actually move a mountain. Manji was a laborer, poor laborer, living in the north of India, in the state of Bihar, and his village was on one side of a very wild and rugged mountain. And every day, he and his fellow farmers had to cross to the other side of the mountain to reach fertile fields, and there was a bigger town where they could find work and earn a living. At noon, Manji's wife, Paguni, would climb the mountain to bring some food to her husband, cross over, trekking for long hours to get to the fields of the landowner where her husband was employed. One day, the poor woman set on her daily journey. But high up on the mountain, she slipped among the hard rocks, fell and injured her leg quite seriously. It took her long hours to reach her husband, limping and crying with pain all the way. And she arrived empty-handed, since she had lost all the food in her fall. Manji couldn't bear to see his wife in all that pain. So he decided he was not going to wait for anyone to solve his problems. He was going to do it himself. He had to open some kind of way right through that high mountain. So many had been injured like his wife. He had to open a road for all to pass through, whatever and however long it was going to take. So he quit his job, started chipping away at the mountain with a hammer, a chisel, and a crowbar. He worked from the early hours of the morning till late in the evening, day after day. The other villagers at first ridiculed him, but then started admiring him, so much that they took it upon themselves to provide food for his family, while he worked at opening up the mountain and create a passage for people to cross safely. One day, his wife fell ill, and the doctor, who lived 75 kilometers away round the mountain, could not make it in time, and his wife died. His grief and anger fueled his courage and determination. It took him 10 years to make just a visible dent in the mountain, single-handed. With time, a few were courageous enough to join him. People started calling him Baba, which in the language means a revered father. And he spent 22 long years of chipping away at the mountain. The dent in the mountain got deeper and deeper and became a pathway right at the foot of the mountain. It became a road through which people could easily reach the bigger town and fertile fields on the other side of the mountain. The 75 kilometers to reach the town were reduced to 5 kilometers. Children had only 3 kilometers to walk to get to the school. The life of the villagers had now changed forever. But Manji did not stop there. He pestered the government to do something and surface the new road he had opened by his own bare hands. He started campaigning for his road, for a new hospital, school, water. He went right up to the state chief minister, who not only welcomed him but asked him to take the ministerial chair behind the impressive desk at his office, which for the poor people was a sign of extreme honor. Manji was rewarded with an impressive piece of land in gratitude by the state. But this land he immediately donated for a hospital to be built on it. He said, I do not care for these awards, this fame, this money. He said, all I want is a road, a school, a hospital for our people. They toil so hard. It will help their women and children. He had carved out a road 30 feet wide across the base of the mountain in 22 years. The government took 30 years afterwards to have the road serviced. Manji had conquered the mountain, but he lost his battle with cancer. He would often say, I started this work out of love for my wife, but continued it for my people. If I did not do it, no one would have done it. We do not need to say much to get the message of Isaiah. Yes, like those villagers, we are waiting for a man as strong, as loving, as determined as Manji. Like Manji's wife, we find ourselves so often facing an enormous mountain, too high to climb, too deadly to cross. Does not this remind us of the seemingly impossible task of overcoming the mountains of selfishness, of greed, of ambition, corruption that surround us on all sides? Does not this remind us of the depths of our neediness, fragility, and seeming hopelessness that condition and keep us stuck in our poverty? And yet, Manji makes us think of another man for whom we are waiting every Christmas, year after year. Like Manji, this man has said, if I do not do it myself, who is going to do it? And so he came down from the mountain, he came down from heaven, and dwelt in the plains and the valleys of humanity. And he started single-handed to chip away at the mountain of sinfulness, hatred, selfishness that separates humanity from the green pastures and bliss of a truly peaceful and fulfilling life. Those simple and poor villagers had never dreamt of opening up a road right through the mighty mountain. But one man did have a dream and started working to make it a reality, day by day, chipping away at the mountain of sinfulness day by day, chiseling and hammering away at it, blow after blow. He did not just open the way, he became the way, and that's Jesus, whom we are longing for. And the mountain was indeed finally moved. The valley rose up. The people could reach their freedom and salvation. Isn't this the story of Christmas? Shall we leave Jesus alone, chipping away at the mountain of human misery and sinfulness? Or shall each one of us take up his hammer and chisel and join him in opening the royal road of freedom and holiness? Yes, Jesus' own seat at the right hand of the Father is offered to us, like that state minister who offered his seat to Manji. Let us imitate this Christmas our divine Manji, Jesus, and pass on all that we have and are to our brothers and sisters, that they may indeed have new hospitals, new schools, and the new life in Jesus. God bless you.